Hey there everyone, it is your good friend Andrew back again on the Conservanerd YouTube channel. This is the channel where we love God, we love our country, and we love all things nerd. And you may not have noticed this because it kind of flew under the radar. The new Marvel Disney Plus show, Wonder Man, started streaming this week. I had a chance to sit down and watch all 8 episodes, so hang tight and I will let you guys know if I think it's worth your time. Before I get started, if you're the type of person that enjoys nerd-related content like movies, video games, comic books, anything like that, then jump down and hit that subscribe button. And also, hit that little bell notification icon so you don't miss any of our future content. Thank you so much, everybody. I really appreciate it. All right, so Wonder Man. This show stars Yahya Abdul-Mateen, and you may remember him from Aquaman whenever he played Black Manta. In this show, he plays a character called Simon Williams. He's a down-on-his-luck actor working in Hollywood who secretly possesses superpowers. The show also stars Sir Ben Kingsley, who is reprising his role as Trevor Slattery, who we most recently saw in the movie Shang-Chi. The basic idea of the show is that Simon is trying to audition for the lead role in the remake of his favorite childhood film, Wonder Man. Along the way, Simon meets up with Trevor, who himself is an actor, as we know, but Trevor is still dealing with the aftermath of the crimes he committed while impersonating the Mandarin back in Iron Man 3. Now, this is the part of the show that really worked for me. The relationship between Simon and Trevor is completely off the charts. It is fantastic. It's the best part of the show. They are such a great pair, and after each episode ended, I found myself wanting to go back and spend even more time with them. The creators of the show really did a great job of making me buy into their friendship. There are some really great and well-timed comedic moments throughout the show, which we've kind of come to expect from Trevor Slattery because he's a pretty funny character. But there's also some really great touching and heartfelt moments as well, where these two actors really get to show off just how good dramatically each one of them is. Now, with all of that said, I want to point this out too because I think it's important. This show is very different from any other Marvel property that I think I've ever seen. And I don't feel that I'm over-exaggerating when I say that. Seriously, the tone of this show feels more like an artsy, Oscar-baity type movie than it does a Marvel show. I mean, I'll go as far as to say that this is not a superhero story. This is a story about a normal guy who has normal struggles, and it just so happens that this guy has superpowers. And because of that, the show kind of lacks in the action department. In fact, there's hardly any action in the show at all. I mean, at least considering what we're used to from Marvel projects. So don't go into this show expecting a bunch of explosions because you're not going to get it and you're probably going to be disappointed. But to be honest with you, I didn't really miss the action. I was so invested in Simon's story that I didn't care that there wasn't a bunch of explosions. To me, the show flowed perfectly fine without all that. However, this show is not without its negatives. First off, once again, Disney Plus gives us an 8-episode series where each episode is only 35 minutes long. And if you remove the previously on segment and the Marvel logo segment and the end credits, you end up with episodes that are only about 28 minutes long, definitely under 30 minutes long each. Now, that may not be a problem for some of you, but I have always felt that these runtimes were really lame, especially for companies as high profile as Marvel and Star Wars and Disney. I will admit, though, that dropping all 8 episodes of the show at once does make that feel a little bit better, because I'm not sitting around waiting a whole week for just 28 minutes of new content. I can sit down and binge watch the whole show in 4 hours if I want to. Nevertheless, the runtimes are still lame in my opinion. Another negative for me is all the coarse language. I just don't see why it's necessary, and there's a lot of it in this show. So if that's something that bothers you, just be warned that it's there. There's not any F-bombs or anything, but just about every other word you can think of is repeated many times throughout the show. However, I did not notice any political or sexual references throughout the show. Not a single one. So that was a pretty nice change of pace, I guess. The last negative that I want to point out is something that a lot of Marvel shows seem to struggle with, and that is sticking the landing at the end. Now, don't get me wrong, this show doesn't fail at it as badly as shows like Moon Knight or Falcon and the Winter Soldier did, but Wonder Man does do this thing where the entire show, it feels like it's building to something, and it builds and builds and builds and builds until finally it just doesn't pay off exactly the way you hoped. The ending just sort of fizzled out for me, almost like the conclusion was just not as big or epic as the rest of the show deserved. It doesn't ruin my overall enjoyment of the show, it just left me wanting more, but not in a positive way. I don't know if that makes sense. In the end, I feel like this is one of Marvel's better attempts at television. The story is great, the characters are great, it has its shortcomings, for sure, it's definitely not a perfect show. But I do think it's worth your time, especially if you're in the mood for something Marvel that doesn't exactly feel like Marvel. I'm going to give Marvel's Wonder Man a 4 out of 5 stars. It is a solid show, and it's all on Disney Plus right now, so if you wanted to go binge it really quick, you could totally do that. So now that you've heard what I think, I want to know what you think. Have you had a chance to watch Wonder Man? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Do you agree with any of my opinions? Let me know in the comments section down below. Also, don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons. It is totally free and it really helps out the channel. Thank you all so much. I appreciate every last one of you. That's all I've got for you today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, keep gaming and keep praying.